Sergio Perez is out of time as the race for his Red Bull seat is on. While Yuki Tsunoda has proven himself as a reliable and effective driver, Liam Lawson's blistering speed has given Christian Horner something to think about. Which driver is he more partial to? Let's find out right now. Yuki Tsunoda is doing everything to make his own case for a coveted Red Bull seat, admitting he needs to step up in response to the arrival of Liam Lawson. Although Tsunoda has already secured his place at VCARB for next season, the Japanese driver has been vocal about his ambitions to advance to the senior Red Bull team if an opportunity arises. As for Lawson, his future in Formula One for the 2025 season remains undecided. Should he continue to deliver strong performances alongside Tsunoda, he's emerging as the frontrunner to partner him at VCARB next year. Now approaching the end of his fourth season in Formula One, Tsunoda is focused on taking the next step in his career, especially with Lawson as his teammate. With his added experience, Tsunoda is looking to prove himself as a serious contender for a future Red Bull seat. When asked if the changes in his teammates have impacted his mindset, Tsunoda told the media, "Same, pretty much same. But I think I need to also step up as a driver, as a more complete driver and being more responsible with leadership. And I've been working on it." Liam Lawson entered the United States Grand Prix weekend, well aware he'd be starting from the back because of a power unit change for his VCARB car. During Q2, Lawson was tasked with providing a slipstream for his teammate, Yuki Tsunoda, but the Japanese driver initially had concerns about Lawson moving onto a section of the track that left dust on his tyres. But those concerns were soon put to rest, and Tsunoda later praised Lawson for his efforts in helping him navigate the session successfully. "He did a very good job. I mean, probably we didn't really precisely discuss before the session how he was going to give the slipstream, but the first time, probably, he was more scared to, I guess, disturb me into turn 12, so probably he wanted to move left as much as possible. But second time, he adjusted properly and was perfect. So, yeah, he did a very good job." Red Bull team principal, Christian Horner, has publicly displayed his admiration for Liam Lawson's performance at the United States Grand Prix, especially with how the young New Zealander handled a tussle with two-time champion Fernando Alonso. At just 22, Lawson was called up to replace Daniel Ricciardo following the Singapore Grand Prix, making his return to Formula One after a 5-race stint last year when Ricciardo was sidelined with a hand injury. Horner sang praises for Lawson's poise under pressure in Austin, signalling his potential as a rising star in the Red Bull ranks. Despite a year away from Formula One, Liam Lawson matched his career-best result upon his return, finishing 9th at the United States Grand Prix, and earning 2 points for the Italian team. This impressive feat came despite starting from the back row, thanks to a massive 60-place grid penalty for essential car component changes. Christian Horner praised the young driver's remarkable recovery drive, further fueling speculation about his prospects within the team. "I think he drove an exceptional race today, from 19th to 9th, he said. "He was fast, courageous, and I thought it was an excellent comeback for him. I thought he jumped in and looked like a veteran. He did great and he can be very happy with that drive. I thought he drove a great Grand Prix, finishing in the points, some great overtakes, so he should be pleased with that." Liam Lawson's race weekend at Austin sparked a rivalry with two-time world champion Fernando Alonso, leading to a few clashes throughout the sessions. During Saturday's sprint, the two engaged in a fiery battle outside the points-scoring positions, resulting in Alonso branding Lawson an idiot over the team radio due to his defensive manoeuvres. The tension continued into qualifying, where Alonso cut in front of Lawson as they approached turn 1, prompting Lawson to tell his race engineer he's doing exactly what he said he would do. When asked about the on-track skirmishes, Christian Horner pointed to this fierce competition as a testament to Lawson's competitive spirit, signalling his readiness to mix it up with the best in the sport. "I think if you're getting into a spat and getting your elbows out with Fernando on your first race back in, you're doing all right," he said. Red Bull's head of driver development, Helmut Marko, thinks that this couldn't have come any sooner. He has taken a jab at Christian Horner, voicing his frustration over the delayed call to drop Daniel Ricciardo from the sister team's driver lineup. According to Horner, Marko had been advocating for Ricciardo's exit as early as the Spanish Grand Prix in June, following a lackluster start to the season. But the move to replace the veteran driver didn't happen until after the Singapore Grand Prix in September. Liam Lawson's impressive drive at the Circuit of the Americas was exactly the kind of performance Helmut Marko had been pushing for when urging Red Bull to part ways with Daniel Ricciardo. Stepping in at VCARB for the final 6 races of the season, Lawson grabbed his chance to shine with his ninth-place finish in Austin, showcasing the potential Marko had always seen. Following Lawson's stellar full-time debut in Austin, Marko hinted that his calls for change should have been acted on sooner. In a veiled insult aimed at the Red Bull hierarchy, he told Sky Germany, "A really great debut, that was already apparent in Q1, where he drove the third fastest time. You have to put the youngsters in the car and then it works." Liam Lawson's qualifying performance at the Circuit of the Americas was eye-catching, as he clocked the third fastest time in Q1, despite facing a 60-place grid penalty. His one-lap speed even surpassed Red Bull's Sergio Perez by 0.3 of a second, adding fuel to the idea that Red Bull's future may rest with its younger talents. Starting 19th on race day, Lawson wasted no time slicing through the field. A well-timed long stint allowed him to undercut his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, who later spun and finished a disappointing 14th. With Tsunoda and Lawson reportedly vying to be the one to eventually partner Max Verstappen, replacing Perez, it's clear Marko is backing the young New Zealander for a future at Red Bull. Red Bull has built a reputation for being ruthless in their driver appointments, with Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly among the recent casualties of the team's relentless development program. Given this track record, the patience shown towards Sergio Perez in recent seasons is quite surprising. Right now, the six-time race winner finds himself 200 points behind Max Verstappen this season, having finished nearly 300 points adrift from the Dutchman in the previous campaign. As Ferrari and McLaren assert themselves as legitimate contenders, such a gap is becoming increasingly unacceptable. Helmut Marko made this sentiment clear last weekend in COTA, speaking to Sky Germany about Perez's future with the team. "We will see, but he needs to improve his performance. With two teams catching up to them, Horner also believes that they need more from their drivers, particularly Sergio Perez. They've got two drivers that are competing at the front. McLaren likewise, their drivers. There's not a big deficit between them. So that's where we really need for the constructors to have Checo come into play. Hopefully, with the support he will receive in Mexico, it will give him that boost. Obviously, when you qualify out of position, you lose so much time coming through tail-end cars in the top 10 that you've then lost contact with the rest of the race." Sergio Perez received another dose of concern when Helmut Marko referred to Liam Lawson as a man for the future, while talking to Sky Deutschland. "A really great debut," Marko said. "That was already apparent in Q1, where he drove the third fastest time. He was in control at all times and had great overtaking manoeuvres. You have to put the youngsters in the car and then it works. He is definitely a man for the future." Honda is advocating for Red Bull to consider Yuki Tsunoda as a potential replacement for the underperforming Sergio Perez in the upcoming season. And team principal Christian Horner hasn't ruled out the possibility. The Japanese car manufacturer has maintained a technical partnership with Red Bull that extends until 2026, yet Tsunoda has yet to receive a trial run with the current world champions. Honda's chief executive, Koji Watanabe, shared these insights with Autosport, underscoring the interest in giving Tsunoda a chance to prove himself. "Regarding Tsunoda, our goal is for him to work hard and secure a seat at Red Bull Racing. We believe he has the talent. Of course, driver decisions are ultimately up to the team, but as a partner, we've strongly requested that Tsunoda be given the chance to drive and test in a Red Bull car. We want to at least give him the opportunity to showcase his ability." I've also spoken directly with Christian Horner about this. He hasn't ruled it out. Nothing has been decided yet, but I think we need to proceed properly. If it were up to you, who would you have racing in Sergio Perez's seat? Tell us in the comments section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.